welcome back to Graduate Guru, and we will continue with our topic non-banking financial companies. So last time we had seen how to classify the assets, और उस asset classification में we had seen that there are four main categories because standard, substandard, doubtful and loss. These are the main categories. NPA includes these three. Okay? So we had seen that standard are those assets जहाँ पर कोई default नहीं है. Then if there is a default, then they start becoming NPA. And once they are an NPA for 12 months, NPA up to 12 months. So 12 months तक अगर they are NPA, then they are categorized as substandard. For ND, that is the non-important NBFCs, it is 18 months instead of 12. Doubtful, again you have to see for how much time they have remained substandard. So if they have remained substandard for more than 12 months, that is 1 year, up to 1 year they were NPA, they will be regarded as substandard. Once they move into the doubtful category means they have been substandard for more than 12 months. Okay. And again for NBFC ND, it is 18 months. And if an asset you feel that you will not be able to recover the amount at all from that asset, auditor या RBI ने हमें ऐसे बताया है, they have given us a certificate. In that case, we will call them the loss assets. Okay. So now we'll do a sum based on this asset classification. So Temple Finance Limited, an NBFC, provides the following information regarding outstanding amounts due appearing in its balance sheet for the year ended March 31, 2020. You are required to classify the assets of the company considering that दो options है. One, it is an NBFC ND which is non-SI, means it is falling in the remainder category, and otherwise it is an NBFC D. So हमें दो बार calculation करने पड़ेंगे because certain numbers are different, like 12 months, 18 months का जो फर्क है, that becomes important over here. So they've given us some details about the accounts. Accounts with no overdue amount. So obviously these are our standard assets. Number of accounts कितने हैं and the total amount of those accounts. Accounts with overdue amounts for 2 months. So यहाँ पर it is still within that limit where I can call it an NPA, but it does not go into the substandard category yet. So यहाँ again they've given us the number of accounts and the total. Same way, amounts overdue for 4 months, amounts overdue for 7 months, and then they have given us which are the accounts which are identified as substandard. So these are old substandard accounts, and these substandard have been substandard for 10 months, 15 months and 30 months. Okay, so here they are substandard, but substandard से doubtful कौन से बन रहे हैं, that we have to make a decision based on the number of months and the classification that we just saw. And finally, they have given us the accounts which are identified by the auditors as loss assets. So these obviously you cannot classify it anywhere else. You have to take it to loss assets only. So they have given us the number of accounts over here and they have given us the total amount. हमें multiply नहीं करना है because this is already the total. It is already multiplied. जितना total amount है हर account का, ये वही amount दिया हुआ है. The amount is in lakhs. Okay, so let us solve this sum and we'll have to do two solutions because one we will treat it as NBFC ND, other we will treat it as NBFC D. एक बार फिर से quickly we will go through our asset classification rules. So first, standard where there is no default. NPA कब बनेगा? When it has interest or repayment has remained overdue for 3 months or more. If it is NBFC ND, then it is 6 months. Then once it becomes NPA, it will either be substandard, doubtful or loss. So when will it be substandard? When it is NPA up to 12 months. So हमें पता है that this is an NPA, amount is overdue. Up to 12 months it remains in the substandard category. Once it crosses 12 months, it moves to the doubtful category. But for NBFC ND, that is non-important category, it is 18 months. So up to 18 months, it remains in the substandard category. Once it crosses 18 months, more than 18 months ho gaya, so it becomes a doubtful asset. Okay, so let's go and solve our sum. We will make the format and then we'll take up the sum. Okay, so let's do the sum. I have made a format over here. It's a simple format. We simply have to write the particulars and one inner column and outer column. I am simply classifying the assets into different categories. So हर category में हमारे assets का कितना total amount हो रहा है, that is what we want to find out. So my first category will be standard assets. Okay. Now here what did we see? When the amount is not overdue at all, then only they can be called as standard assets. Once the amount becomes overdue, then they become NPA. And once they start becoming NPA, they come in the first category which is substandard. Okay, so ये हमें याद रखना है. So यहाँ पर we have standard with 300 accounts. Okay, there are the number of accounts that they had given and no overdue amount. That is what they have told us. Okay, so 300 accounts where there is no overdue and the amount is 64.50. So this was pretty simple. This was direct. No overdue hai, so obviously it will be standard asset. 300 accounts is just a reference I am giving and there is no overdue. Amount is 64.50 already given in the sum directly. Okay. Then our next category is where the amount is overdue for 2 months. Now what does our NPA category say? जो हमारा मेन है that is NBFC D and NBFC ND SI, उनके लिए if the amount has been overdue for 3 months or more, then it is an NPA. I'm sorry, it is an NPA, and then it will be later on categorized as substandard, doubtful, and loss. But first, to become an NPA, it has to be overdue for at least 3 months for NBFC ND. But here we are doing NBFC ND, जो non-important category है, हम वो कर रहे हैं. So for them, the overdue amount should be for 6 months or more. Only then they will become non-performing. So we wait till 6 months. 6 months तक भी अगर हमें amount नहीं मिलता है जो कि due था, only then we categorize it as an NPA. NPA बनेगा तभी जाके it will be either substandard, doubtful or loss. So यहाँ पर those 150 accounts which are overdue for 2 months, because they are not crossing the 6 months mark, therefore they will still remain under standard. जब तक NPA नहीं बनेंगे तब तक substandard में नहीं जाएंगे. Okay, so you have to remember that. So they have been overdue for 2 months. Amount is already given to us directly again, 30. So I'm just copying the amount from the sum. I'm not doing any calculation as far as the amounts are concerned. Okay. Then we also have some 16 accounts which have been overdue for 4 months. Now again, I will categorize it as standard only. Why? Because we've not crossed the 6 months mark. We are talking about NBFC ND. NBFC ND में अगर 6 months हो गया and you've not received the amount, so beyond 6 months they become NPA. But here it is not crossed 6 months yet. Therefore, I will still put it under standard asset only. Okay. This classification is very important because the next part which we will do provisioning, वो सारा कुछ इस classification पे ही based है. So based on what classification I give to my asset, I will have to account for so much of provision. Okay. So overdue for 4 months, amount is 16. All these amounts are in lakhs, please remember that. So we take a subtotal over here, all these are standard assets. अब जो next हमें दिया है, that has been overdue for 7 months. So 7 months एक बार हो गया, that means it has gone into the NPA category. Okay, so therefore I will not write that over here because it has crossed the 6 months mark. So let us take a total of this. 64.5 plus 30 plus 16, we get 110.50. Again, I am mentioning this is all amounts in lakhs. Okay. Now our second category, I will not write anything separate for NPA because NPA के अंदर once an asset becomes NPA, then you have to classify it as substandard, doubtful or loss. So substandard assets, let's start listing that down. So in substandard assets, first I will take the 7 months overdue because as I said 7 months हो गया, 6 months cross हो गया है, so it has become an NPA. Once it becomes an NPA, जिस दिन से NPA बन जाएगा account, उसी दिन से it becomes substandard. Okay, so it loses the standard category and it goes into the substandard category. So 7 months we have 2 accounts. We will mention over here overdue for 7 months. And the amount again given to us in the sum is 2. Okay. Now we go ahead with the other, जो उन्होंने already बोला हुआ है that it is substandard category. Now in that substandard category, what have they told us? That for how many months it has remained substandard or overdue दिया हुआ है, whatever. So I will check what is my substandard category. Let us once go back to the sum and see the words that they have used. So over here as we are seeing, they have said accounts identified as substandard. Substandard कितने महीने तक रहा है account, वो हमें यहाँ पर बताया गया है 10 months, 15 months and 30 months. Now again we'll go back to our solution and how this will affect our solution we'll see. So now over here I have some accounts which were substandard for 10 months. That means in short they have been substandard. Now what is our cutoff? Our cutoff is that they should be substandard for 12 months or 18 months. हम कौन सी कैटेगरी के लिए कर रहे हैं, कौन से NBFC के लिए? NBFC ND. For NBFC ND it is 18 months. So up to 18 months अगर कोई अकाउंट substandard रहता है तो वो substandard ही कहलाएगा. But once it crosses 18 months, for more than 18 months if it is substandard, only then it will go in the next category, doubtful. So here the 10 months वाला accounts जो हमारे पास है, those are 3 accounts. Overdue for 10 months. And again we have the amount directly with us which we will use, which is 10.50. Okay, so this is our substandard. Then there are other 4 accounts which are overdue for 15 months. Again, they have not crossed the 18 months mark. Our bifurcation month is 18 months. Only when they cross 18 months will they become doubtful. Okay, so यहाँ तक they will still remain substandard. The amount given is 4.50. So let's take our total. 10.5 plus 4.5 is 15 and 15 plus 2 is 17. Okay. So our total in the substandard category is 17. Total in the standard category was 110.50. Okay. Now let's move forward to the next category, which is doubtful assets. Now what is the criteria for doubtful assets? They should have been substandard for 18 months or more. Why 18 months, not 12 months? Because we are doing it for NBFC ND. So here what we have is, we have 3 accounts which have been substandard for 30 months. Or rather overdue I can write, or substandard, anything. So overdue for 30 months. Okay. So once it has crossed 30 months, that means, rather I will write over here as substandard only. I think that will be better. So let me just erase this. So I have changed here also the words because they had mentioned that it is substandard for 10 months and 15 months. So I have changed the words, and here also I am changing it to substandard for 30 months. Now because it has crossed the 18 months mark, this automatically becomes doubtful. So the amount given is 15, and that is the only one which is in doubtful. So I am directly writing it in the outer column. Then we have loss assets, and these are identified by auditor. So here there is no explanation. Directly the auditor will decide कि कौन से accounts loss assets होने चाहिए. So we'll just write as per auditor. It could be as per auditor, it could be as per RBI. So that's what we are mentioning, and the amount given is 7.50. Okay. So we have categorized all our assets into different categories: standard, substandard, doubtful, and loss. So we have the totals over here. So let's take a grand total and write down in the main total column. So 110.5 plus 17 plus 15 plus 7.5, we get 150. So 150 are our total assets. Assets का amount change नहीं होना चाहिए. You can just give a check that in the sum also the total must have been 150 only. Okay, so I'll just write over here total. Okay, now what we are going to do is the same type of calculation we are going to do for our NBFC D. Now these are important NBFC जो deposit लेते हैं public से. So for them there is a slight difference when they become NPA and when they become substandard and doubtful. So थोड़ा solution हमारा अलग होगा. So let's start with standard. So in standard assets, first of all, we have that same 300 accounts, no overdue, that is definitely standard. There is no doubt. No overdue. And the amount is 64.50. Okay. Then if the amount has been overdue for 2 months, which is our 150 accounts, 150 accounts were overdue for 2 months. So 2 months is within the 3 months criteria. What is the criteria? When will they become NPA? When they will be overdue for more than 3 months, because I am talking about NBFC D. Okay. So here it is overdue for 2 months, 3 months se kam hai. That's why I will take it in standard. Amount is 30. Now the next one, if I go back to our earlier solution over here, यहाँ पर जो overdue थे, third वाले जो थे standard assets, overdue for 4 months. Here they are crossing 3 months, and therefore for NBFC D, they will go in the substandard category. So over here I'll first take the total of this standard category. So this will give me 94.50. And then I go to the second category, which is substandard. And there, as I said, जो overdue for 4 months है, which are 16 accounts, that will come over here. So 16 accounts overdue for 4 months, and the amount is 16. Okay. And then we have our 3 accounts which were substandard for 10 months, so they will remain in the substandard category only. So substandard for 10 months, and the amount for that is 10.50. I'm sorry, I think I skipped out the overdue for 7 months, so we'll take that over here, no issues. 2 accounts overdue for 7 months. Okay, so that will be also substandard. वो वैसे भी NBFC ND में ही substandard हो गया था. So NBFC D में definitely it is going to be substandard. The amount is 2. Okay. Now after that we have 4 accounts which have been overdue for 15 months. Now because we are talking about NBFC D, वहाँ पर the criteria is that if an account remains as substandard for more than 12 months, then it becomes a doubtful asset. So यहाँ पर again we'll go back to our earlier solution. Here my 15 months was in substandard, but for NBFC D this will move to doubtful. Okay, so let's first take a total of this. So here I get a total of 26.5, 28.5. So now we go to our third category, which is doubtful assets. And as I said, the 15 months overdue, or rather substandard for 15 months, automatically comes over here. So the number of accounts is 4 accounts. And I'll say substandard for 15 months. And the amount given to us is 4.50. Okay. Then obviously जो substandard for 30 months है वो तो आएगा ही यहाँ पे. So 3 accounts substandard for 30 months. And the amount for that is 15. So that is going to come in my doubtful category, and then we directly have loss assets. So here I'll take a total 19.50, and then I'll write the fourth category, loss assets. Again you can write down identified by auditor, I'm not repeating that, and the amount is 7.50. So let's take a total and see if it's matching, if we are getting 150 again as the total. So let's do the totaling. 94.5 plus 28.5 plus 19.5 plus 7.5. Yes, our total is 150, which we will write over here. So this is how we classify our assets, and we have seen both the categories. We saw for NBFC ND first. So over here we have for NBFC ND, and slightly different. See, the total will not change, but your classification will change, and because of that जब हम आगे provision करेंगे वो भी change होगा. Okay. So accordingly you have to classify and then take your provision correctly. So this is our solution to the sum. Now let's move ahead with the other topic. So now if you remember, we had 3 basic norms. Okay, one was income recognition, जो हमने last time किया था, asset classification, which we just did in question number 4, and the third basic norm, which is applicable to all NBFCs, is provisioning. Okay, so here provisioning, as I told you, the classification that we give to the assets, again I've written the same thing, standard, substandard, doubtful, loss. So the classification that we give to the asset will decide हमें उस पर कितना provision create करना है. What is the provision that I am talking about? Means I feel that अगर एक standard asset है, फिर भी यहाँ पर शायद future में जाकर I might not be able to recover some amount on that asset. So here also they have given a certain percentage which you have to take as a provision. This is something like what we have been doing in our 11th and 12th provision for bad debts. So this is something very similar. This is bad debts provision only that we are doing. Okay. But यहाँ पर the rate that we have to take for the provision is fixed as per the act or the law. So for standard assets, as I was saying, if it is NBFC D or NBFC NDSI, again same. ये जो दो important categories है वो हमेशा same rules में apply होती है. So for them, the provision is 0.40% of the outstanding amount. But if it is NBFC ND, that is non-SI, simple ND, okay, assets भी कम है 500 crore से और deposit भी नहीं लेते हैं public से. In that case, the provision rate is 0.25%. Then when we move to substandard assets, doubtful and loss, यहाँ पर it is for all types of NBFC. So whether it is NBFC D or NBFC NDSI or NBFC ND, तीनों के लिए the rate is same. So for substandard assets, the rate is 10%. For doubtful assets, now doubtful assets में you divide the assets into two categories again. जहाँ पर security है और जहाँ पर security नहीं है. So for the unsecured portion, 100% provision. So we don't have security plus the asset has become doubtful. इतने महीने हो गए, we've not received any amount from that asset. So we are not sure कि future में भी वो amount हमें मिलेगा या नहीं. And that is why doubtful assets पर अगर security नहीं है, कोई guarantee नहीं है, I don't have any asset which I can sell and recover my amount, in that case I have to make a 100% provision. So पूरा doubtful asset write off कर दो. Okay? Don't show any amount in your balance sheet as recoverable. Okay? So we are treating it as a loss. For secured portion, अगर हमारे पास कुछ security है in doubtful assets के लिए, even though we have not recovered the amount for many months, but कहीं कुछ हमारे पास security है, so we will be able to sell that and maybe recover some part of the amount. So there the provision is less. Now what is the provision? If it is doubtful up to 1 year, then you create 20% provision. If it is doubtful for more than 1 year but up to 3 years, then it is 30% provision. But if it is doubtful for more than 3 years, then 50% provision. Now here you have to be careful. अगर एक doubtful asset दिया है, which is partly secured, so कुछ amount का security है हमारे पास, for the secured portion, you will take these rates. But for whatever portion is unsecured, you will directly use 100% provision. And loss assets actually should not appear in your books at all. So actually the asset has to be written off fully. But if the asset is shown in the books by mistake or maybe there is some other reason for showing the asset in the books, in that case also 100% provision is required. So doubtful का unsecured portion and loss assets always 100% provision. बाकियों के लिए there are rates, but what you have to be careful about is ये standard asset में this is 0.40%. गलती से 40% मत ले लेना, otherwise your answer goes wrong. Same way this is 0.25%. So this is even less than 1%. Okay, because they are standard assets. Generally they are paying well, but we have that kind of a prudential quality, that is you have to follow prudential principle, and that is why standard asset पे भी ये छोटा amount का provision करना जरूरी है. Okay? Now, when a finance company is dealing with lease or hire purchase assets, ये हमने पहले भी देखा है what is lease, what is hire purchase. So in those, for those assets, there is some provision required, additional provision rather required. So here this is additional provision, and ये assets पे calculation थोड़ा सा अलग है. Okay? So first we will see for what period are installment. If it is hire purchase, we call it installment. If it is lease, we call it rental. So कितने महीनों के लिए या कितने सालों के लिए ये इंस्टॉलमेंट या रेंटल जो है वो ओवरड्यू था. सो फर्स्ट, इफ इट इज अप टू 12 मंथ्स तो कोई प्रोविजन की जरूरत नहीं है, एडिशनल प्रोविजन की जरूरत नहीं है. मोर देन 12 months up to 24 months, so this means from 1 year to 2 years, basically 10% of what? Net book value. अब ये net book value कैसे calculate करना है, we'll be seeing that in a little while, maybe in this session or if time permits in this session, otherwise in the next session. Then we have more than 24 months and up to 36 months. उसके लिए क्या है provision? 40% of what? Net book value again. More than 36 months up to 48 months, so 3 years से लेकर 4 years तक 70%. And अगर 4 years से ज्यादा हो गया है and we have not recovered the installment or the rental, whatever the case may be, then again this is something like your loss asset where you have to create 100% provision. But as I said, this 10, 40, 70 and 100, this is on what? This is on your net book value. So पहले हम एक ऐसा सम करेंगे जहां पर हम नॉर्मल प्रोविजनिंग का कैलकुलेशन करेंगे. Then we will go to the complicated part where we are doing this additional provision and all. Okay. So first let's do a simple sum based on normal provisions which we discussed earlier. That is this. Based on this calculation. So यहाँ पर थोड़ा amount याद कर लेते हैं. 0.4% if it is important NBFC, 0.25 कम परसेंट है if it is non-important. Substandard में कोई भी NBFC होने दो 10%. Doubtful में unsecured portion पे 100%, secured है तो 20, 30, 50. So 20 for up to 1 year, 1 to 3 years 30 and more than 3 years 50. Loss है तो directly 100%. Okay. So let's do a sum based on these provisions first. Okay, so let's read our question number 5, which as I said is based on provisioning. A non-banking financial company, Safe Money Limited, has the following advances as on 31st March 2020. Standard assets already हमें classify करके दे दिया है. So they've made our sum very simple. Later on maybe we'll take up a sum where we will classify also and create a provision also. So standard, substandard, doubtful दिया है up to 1 year, 1 to 3 years, more than 3 years. So ये भी category wise properly दिया हुआ है. But here in the brackets they've given us secured amount. So ये total है. Out of 200, 170 is secured. So that means 30 is unsecured. Again, in the second category, out of 40, 35 lakhs is secured. So 5 lakhs is unsecured. And in the last category, out of 20 lakhs, nothing is secured. So all are unsecured doubtful assets. And then we have loss assets. Now what have they told us? Calculate the amount of provision if it is an NBFC ND and it is an NBFC D. So यहाँ पे भी हमें दो categories NBFC की दी गई है. This basically NBFC D is exactly same as NBFC ND SI. So अगर NBFC ND SI भी दिया है, then also it will be the same answer. Fine. So let's do the solution for this sum. So category is already given. I just have to remember the rate. So यहाँ से amount pick up करना है, rate लगाना है, and I have to calculate my provision accordingly. So let's see how to do this sum. Okay. So this is the type of format that would be required. You write the type of advance, that is our asset का classification जो है वो यहाँ पर देंगे, amount जो sum में दिया है, rate which we should know, and when we multiply it with the rate, we will get the provision. Okay. So we will be doing it separately for NBFC ND and then we'll do it for NBFC D also. Okay. So let's begin first with our standard asset. They have already classified for us, so हमारा एक काम उन्होंने आसान कर दिया है, that classify करके हमें amounts दे दिए हैं. Standard asset they have said is 8,500. These all amounts again are in lakhs. So now when we are talking about NBFC ND, जो कि non-important NBFC है, so यहाँ पर कौन सा rate था? If you remember, It was 0.25%. Okay. So let's calculate 8,500 into 0.25%. We get 21.25. So we'll write that down, 21.25. That becomes our provision. Again, the provision is also in lakhs. I'll just write over here rupees in lakhs because that is how it was given in the sum. Now our second category is substandard asset. So let's write that down, substandard asset. And substandard category mein the amount given is 770. Now, as I told you, substandard does not change whether you are NBFC ND, NBFC ND SI or NBFC D. So यहाँ पर rate constant रहता है, which is 10%. So 770 into 10% will give you 77. Okay. Now we go to our third category, which is doubtful. So doubtful asset. And under that, we have subcategories, right? But usse pehle we have to divide it into unsecured and secured. So let's first take the unsecured part. Okay. Now how are you going to calculate your unsecured part? So unsecured, whether it is for 1 year or it is for 3 years or more than 3 years, the rate is the same, which is 100%. So what I'm simply going to do is, I am going to make my calculations in the brackets over here. Okay. So pehle asset mein, out of 200, 170 was secured. So that means 30 was unsecured. So 30 lakhs. In the second category, out of our 45, just let me check the sum once properly. So out of 40, 35 lakhs was secured. So 5 lakhs unsecured. And in the third category, secured is nil. Pura unsecured hai, which is 20 lakhs. So you are understanding how I calculated this unsecured part? हमें total दिया है in our column in the sum and in brackets they are given secured. So total minus secured करके for each category I have found out the unsecured. So 30 plus 5, 35 plus 20, total is 55 in the unsecured doubtful category. Okay, and here my provision will be 100%. So we write down 55. 100% means full. Now we go to secured. And in secured, we will say up to 1 year. Okay. Total was 200, sorry. And out of that, 30 was secured. So 170 is unsecured. 170 is secured. 30 was unsecured. And this is directly given to us in the sum, 170 secured. Okay. So because this is up to 1 year, my rate is 20%. So 170 into 20% will be 34.00. Then 1 to 3 years, total was 40 and they had given in brackets that 35 lakhs is secured. So I'll put 35 in secure and yahan pe rate is 30%. So 35 into 30% gives us 10.5. That is 10.50. Okay. Just let me extend my lines over here. Okay. So now let's continue with the third category under secured, which is more than 3 years. वहां पर पूरा अमाउंट अनसिक्योर्ड में था, राइट? फुल 20 lakhs unsecured, nothing in secured. So secured में nil. So rate is 50%. Just to show that you know your rate, you can write it down. And obviously no provision. And now we go to the last category, which is, sorry, this is not C. This will be category number 4, loss assets. And loss assets pay without even seeing any number of years or anything, you directly have to take 100% provision. So amount is 21 and my provision is 100%. So 21. So let's take a total of our provisions, and we still have to do for NBFC D. So let's quickly complete this part first. So from the beginning, 21.25 plus 77 plus 55 plus 34 plus 10.5 plus 21, we get 218.75. So this is the total provision which this NBFC will have to do if it is an NBFC ND. Now let's go to the second part where we have NBFC D. Okay, वो वाला था NBFC ND. Now this is NBFC D. So again over here, actually if you go to see, सिर्फ एक rate अलग है, that is for standard assets, right? So we already have our amounts over here. So I'll just keep this in front of me so that we can directly take the amounts from here. So NBFC D के लिए the provision rate instead of 0.25 जो हमने यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है, we have to charge 0.40%. Right? That is the only thing which is different. So 8,500 into 0.4% gives me 34. So this is the only amount which will change. Otherwise all the amounts remain the same. So what I am going to do is, I am not going to actually write everything. You can write it down by yourself. It is exactly the same. यही सब कुछ आएगा. Amounts will also remain the same. I'll just quickly note down the amounts from this particular column over here in the last column. Okay, so that we get our total. So 77, 55, which was for our doubtful unsecured, then doubtful secured may we had 34 and 10.50, which will not change. This one was dash, I'll let it be like that, and we had 21 for loss assets. So if you want, I can quickly write down the categories. So this is substandard, then we have doubtful, and under that we have unsecured. So the 55 is for the unsecured. Then that was A. Then B will be secured. Okay, and under that we had 1 year, that is up to 1 year, 1 to 3 years, and greater than 3 years is 0 in secured portion. And then finally our fourth category we have loss assets. Okay, so let's quickly take this total, and it will only marginally be different because of the first amount. So 34 plus 77 plus 55 plus 34 plus 10.5 plus 21. Our answer is 231.50. Okay. So if it is NBFC D, total provision कितना होगा? 231.50. But if it is NBFC ND, provision कम होगा 218.75. Okay. So I hope you've understood this provisioning requirements. This was a very basic sum. We'll be doing some more sums based on provision, where we'll be doing additional provision, and also we will be doing some sums जहाँ पर हम asset को classify भी करेंगे plus provision भी calculate करेंगे. So I wind up the session for now. Please keep on memorizing, remembering, learning your rates, etc. Asset classification में how it changes from standard to substandard, substandard to doubtful, doubtful to loss. So these are very minute points which you should remember. यहाँ पर भी ये जो सारे rates हैं, this you should know by heart. because if a sum is asked directly on provisioning like this, then these rates will make the difference to your answer. If you don't know the rates, your answer will go wrong. So I wind up the session over here and see you in the next session.